How's it going, everybody? Gus here. Hey, I was doing a video the other day. Was working on my wire trees. You can see here. Doing some of these for my train layout. And as I kept going and getting a few more, I'm going to do a little tutorial on that. So keep an eye open for that. Realized I was running out of my owned ground foam. The foam that I use for this is stuff that I've made myself, and I was running out of it, so realized I needed to make some more. You've seen this, a lot of you guys have done it. Just take an old cushion, rip some pieces off, put them in rip them up into small pieces, and then put them in a blender. This blender here, seen better days. It's one that I've just had laying around and using for this purpose, but just an old beat up blender, $5 at the thrift store. I've got my different acrylic paints, my different colors here, and when you make this, you're going to have some juice because you use part water in here. Well, I'm going to start with a lighter color to begin with, this obnoxious green, and make a first batch with this. Then I'll be able to add some darker colors to it and make a different color. That way I can have a couple different colors of greens, a light green, a dark green. So let's play with this and see what we can do. Let it grind up for a while. Alright, there we go. Got a first batch done. Just kind of ground it up, put it in an old cake pan that I had laying around. Now it's pretty chunky still, but it's got the color in it. So now I'll let this dry. Just going to let it dry out in the sun. You can put it in something else, dry in the microwave if you feel like, but I'm just going to let this dry in the sun for a while. And then I will put it back in here dry and grind it up again. And here we are. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Got this green. We're going to add some dark green to it and start all over. This will give us a different color of, different shade of green. And I can have multiple shades on my trees, just like in real life. So what I ended up here with, guys, is 3 different colors. I've got my first one here, the bright green, a little bit yellow green, and then a darker green. So my main color, my new growth, and this vibrant, healthy tree over here. So I'm just going to take these out, let them set out on the patio, and dry out for a day. Then tomorrow I'll take them and put them back in the blender and grind them up fine, sift them, and then be able to use them on my trees. Put them Alright, what I want to do here is show my method of how to use floral wire to twist up a tree. I'm just using this 35 or 22 gauge floral wire. It's green and fairly inexpensive, but this is the way that I do it. And again, as I'm doing this, you know, feel free to change it however you want. I will make roots on mine, that way they can stand, and that way I can put some ground cover, some dirt partially over it, and it'll show that there's trees growing up above the ground, or tree roots growing up above the ground. So I'll usually make 3 roots on mine. I've got 2 here so far, and this beginning of my trunk. Go up and then come down. I twist it up and make another armature, or another arm, sorry. And then back down. And I'll make another root, and back up. Go out, make a loop, give it a few twists, go out, make a loop, and twist it into place. And all these twists are simply made to hold up the canopy. I'm going to twist the roots also, that way if they're exposed, it'll look like they're a little bit knotted, a little bit, have some growth to them. And by twisting all of these, I mean, it ties them together, but when they're coated with the latex, it gives a character to it, gives a little bit of style to it. Now all these loops, I'll cut them, spread them out, just like branches. This guy doesn't have one, but that's okay. His job is to hold up the canopy. Alright, one up the center, one out the sides. Don't really make them flat. Okay, twist that, twist that. Alright, so what I've got now is my tree trunk and my branches. Get my roots straight. And there we go. I've got one ready to be painted now. Where he stands, but that won't matter. Then what I'm going to do is get out my liquid latex and paint them up. Sometimes it doesn't all get on there in one coat. You get some globs someplace and thin in other spots, but that's alright, because if we need to, we'll put a second coat on. But all I want to do is add some depth, add some thickness to my limbs and branches, so that when you're looking under the canopy at the regular tree part, you can see it. You can see an actual tree. And when this is dry, usually only takes an hour or two to dry, but I'll usually wait for a little bit longer, and then I will spray paint it with, I don't have my, well, have my airbrush out, but these are easy to do and don't take much definition, so I'll just get a rattle can and spray paint them. Glob there. Even if you have globs on this, it doesn't matter. That's just where a big knot or a broken branch or something else happened. Give the tree character. Alright. Looks like it's got a little bit twisted, but there we go. Just like that. Paint them up and cover up the wire. Looks like he has had a hard life there. I'll do another coat on him to cover it up, make it a little bit more even. I mean, trees are fairly even growing up, but for this first coat, I just want to get some of the holes filled in, some of the body on it, and that's how we do it. A couple more steps away and we'll put the ground foam on it after we glue the canopy on, and the ground foam that we've made. Sometimes it's sticky. There we go. I wanted to share this right here as we're going along. Twisted wire trees are good, but you've got the twists in them, and this is one right here that you can see. Here's the roots, here's the arms. This is one I was talking about being a dead tree, that it's so badly twisted right here. I don't know that it could pull off as a tree. It's just so bad. But with multiple layers of this latex rubber here, this liquid latex, we can make the trunk turn into what could look like a tree. It'll smooth it out. So a couple of layers after each one dries, add it on, and we can get it into a tree shape instead of something twisted up like this. So here we have a bunch of the trees that are done and they've been working on. These here, the latex hasn't been totally finished yet. These here are the ones. This is the one that I showed earlier that was the dead one that had the big gooseneck in it type thing. It's been filled with rubber, the latex, and now it looks like a regular tree trunk. These guys here have been painted once, but these are a lot bigger. These guys here are near 30 feet tall. These guys are about in the 20-foot range. So you can make them from all different sizes. It just depends on what you want to do, how you want to do them. So let's see about getting a canopy on one or two of them and see how that goes. Alright, let's finish up these trees. To make the canopy, to make the top, I use this batting material. It's not very soft, it's kind of a very coarse, but it's used to wrap pillows. Not baby blankets, it's not that soft, but it's just a coarse batting material, and I've spray painted it with an olive green just to make it a dull color, and because I want my ground foam colors to be on top, but in case anything shows through, these don't cover. It's got some green underneath it, so it doesn't look so bare. So I've pulled off a piece of that, shaped it into a canopy type over my tree. We're going to take this guy right here, turn him into an amazing tree. I'm going to take this, put it, and before I set it on top of there, these wires will grab it, but for it to stay on, take my tacky glue and hit all the high spots. Hit all the top of the branches. Okay, there we go. Take the canopy, stick it on top, mold it around. I don't want to make them into puff balls. That's not what these guys are. I'm going to move it around and shape it and stick it on the wires till it looks like, you know, some sort of a tree. Now this needs to be separated here, so I'll pull it apart, tuck some underneath there. Yeah. As the glue dries, it'll grab it and hold it. I'm liking that. Looks like a nice shady tree for a summer place. Great place on my railroad, somewhere along the river. Yeah, somewhere along the river. That'll look good there. So, we've got him going. We don't have to worry about the glue drying right yet. It will. We take our hairspray and spray top of the canopy pretty good. And then I'm going to take my ground foam, which I've got in this tray here, and sprinkle it on top, smash it into it, push it into the hairspray so it glues it on. I don't want to push too hard, but I'm going to dab it in there so that it grabs a hold of it pretty good. Tap, 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 and it goes back into there. Not a bad start. Got a few bare spots, so I'll spray it again. Bring it back over. And now I've got the tree almost upside down and I can see bare spots underneath. So I'm going to spray underneath here. Okay. Spray underneath and dab it. Dab my ground foam underneath there. And again, this is using my own handmade, my own ground up foam. You can use whatever you like. Use the store-bought. I'm just saying these are made fairly cheap at this point. Got a spot here. Gonna spray some more. And I got my lighter colored one. I'm gonna put some lighter colors in there. Give it some new growth look. A couple of spots here. And that's what you can do. Just keep adding to it. Tapping it off. Until you like what it looks like. Yeah. And it came off the branch there, but it'll go back in place. What you'll find is you'll get some little straggler like pieces of hair. It's just the foam. I mean, it's just the batting. Don't worry about those. You're either gonna trim them off after it dries, or hit it with some hairspray while we're hitting it, and then just push it down, push it into place, and it'll stay there. Yeah, there goes that one. I pushed it in, give it a little squeeze, and he'll stick to his buddies. Alright, I'm kind of liking that guy. Alright, so what I've got is not a puff ball, kind of got a flat top here. This guy's a little bit more rounded, but I don't care. A little bit there. He's a little top heavy. And this guy, there's the beginning of our forest. Along, well, trees along the river's edge. There we go. And that's how we use the ground foam that we made. I can see a couple of bare spots here. No big deal. I'll just hit it again. Add some more foam to it. There you go. If you want to, I mean, this is now outside the realm, but I've also got red that I've ground up, and so we're going to, this one right here, we're going to add a little bit of red. I'm not going to add a whole lot, but he's just starting to change colors, change his seasonal colors. Where's my yellow? Alright, got some yellow here as well. Yeah, this yellow is not ground up. It's too chunky. So I'm not going to add yellow today, but I do have yellow that I can grind back up, get him into my fall colors. So if you like fall, you want to do your fall colors, there you go. He's starting to change a few leaves there. Hit him with some hairspray. Get a little bit of red sprinkle on him. Shake him off. Glue him down. That's how you can start turning them into forest, or fall, if that's what you're looking for. There you go, guys. Making trees with your own ground foam. And with that ground foam, like I said, it's red that I already had, yellow that I just need to grind up a little bit more. Can make whatever color trees that you'd like.